Welcome back to another episode of Imagine That Podcast. I am your host, Ebony, and today we are analyzing our thoughts and aligning them with where we want to be because ultimately what we think is what we become. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. And I can honestly say that it's been because there's been a lot of activity going on in my life. It's since my last episode, it just seemed like I had been brought on a journey to enlightenment. Just a lot was revealed about myself, about my purpose, and that's not a ghost. Phoebe is playing at the door. You'll probably see her walking around somewhere, but maybe not because it's kind of, anyways. And yeah, just figuring out that path that I'm supposed to be on, that righteous path. I've been learning how to express myself more effectively, whether it's through communication, creativity. I just know that I have a gift. I've always been told that I had that gift, and as I became an adult, I have realized that this is something that I need to be using, and it's a part of my purpose. It's a tool used to fulfill my purpose, while in this lifetime. So just to catch y'all all up, I have moved. Me and my boyfriend, we've got a place. Of course, this isn't our forever home, but it's a great start. I'm comfortable. I'm happy. We say every day how grateful we are for the space that we have. And it feels homey. It feels safe. It feels calm. It's soothing, and it's something that I feel that everyone should have. Everyone should have that space, where they can think, where they can unwind, where they can just be the best version of themselves without all of the pressure, all of the other stimuli going on. I know when I lived with my mother, and I do appreciate that time. When I lived with her for a year. I lived with my mom, a little over a year, because I just moved out. So I had my own place at one point, but then I moved and I decided to live with my mom only for a couple of months. I was like, I'm just going to do this for a couple of months, just so use that as a buffer period, before I go and find something else. And then I lost my job. Well, no, I lost my job, and that's why I had to move in. But then I couldn't find a job that was stable enough. It just I either couldn't find the job, or when I did find the job, it was just too much going on that I wanted to deal with. So I knew that I can't move out. I can't put myself in that type of position. So I stayed, and it was a reality check because I live a certain way. I like my stuff in a specific order. I like the noise level to be at a certain volume. I like my own space. I just put it to you that way. And so over time, it became apparent to me. Well, I'll say this. In the beginning, I was able to still have my space, and the room that I had at my mom's, it was my own, it was mine. It had my touch, when I went there, I was able to wind down and really think and breathe. But there became a point where the universe was telling me that it's time to go. It's time to spread your wings. It's time to move on to that next stage in your life. And honestly, I didn't know what that next stage was. I was like, all right, I'm gonna purchase a home. Right. So, I was, like I still am, really heavy into my credit and just kind of seeing where I was and, what would I be able to purchase with this, with what I already have. And I was like, if I'm going to purchase, I don't want to live in Louisiana. Like, I just don't. I don't want to purchase here in Louisiana. And so I remember telling my mom, like, hey, Mom, I'm going to stay here a little bit longer. I want to save and continue to work on my credit so that I could purchase a place. And so she was like, okay, great, that's fine. But then, I started to get that push again, from the universe, like, leave the nest, go ahead, leap, you'll fly. And I was still very comfortable. I was very comfortable living with my mother, saving the amount of money that I was saving, and I was saving, I was just saving this money. And it's like, okay, you're saving, but it's time for you to move on. So when I started to ignore that, it's like, you know what? I'm just going to continue to save. I'm going to stay. Ignoring the signs that it was time for me to go, right? There became a point where my peace of mind started to be disrupted, where I was stressed out all the time, where I felt smuggled, where I felt like my oxygen that filled me was becoming stifled. And so I looked and looked and looked and looked and looked for a place, and nothing fit what I was actually looking for in a space, because I've lived in some places, not so good places. And so I was very mindful of what and where I chose to live. And so, yeah, I finally found a place. Austin and I decided to go ahead and take that step together. And we've been here for about 2 weeks now. 2 weeks. Yeah. We've been here, or a week. It doesn't matter. But I remember before we found our place and I wasn't podcasting, so many people were reaching out to me like, when's the next episode? Where's the next episode? And I'm like, I've recorded a lot of material, y'all. I've recorded a lot of material, and I just haven't put it out. I just didn't put it out. And it's because I didn't feel that it was good enough. I didn't feel like that was material that I should have put out, when in reality, it was in my heart to record in the first place. Right? So why wouldn't I put that information out? But it all boiled down to how I was actually feeling. I was stressed out, trying to find a place. I was still, dealing with some other things that, mentally and emotionally and physically, I just could not bring myself to do that work, put my energy into being creative. And so I said, when we find a place, I'm going to start recording again. And then we found a place, and then I was like, when I get a desk, I'm going to start recording again. I haven't been able to find a desk. Right? Do y'all follow me? Like, when the universe is telling me something, and this goes back to my very first episode of self-sabotage, right? When the universe is telling me that I need to do something, that this is the path that I need to take, I'm like, okay, but it's going to be on my terms. It don't work like that. Podcasting, obviously, I have content that people are actually interested in, and to the point where people are telling me that they're watching or listening to my episodes over and over again because I don't have any other content. So if this is a gift that God has given me, and I always have the inkling, the feeling to produce more content just naturally, but I want to do it my own way, I'm going to have some pitfalls. I'm going to be met with some brick walls. You know what I'm saying? And so one of those brick walls was that desk. I'm pointing to where I want the desk to go, but it's not there. And I would show you, but I don't feel like adjusting the camera again because I got the lighting just right. But the point that I'm trying to make is I woke up this morning, I laid in bed, and I just laid there in silence. I didn't look at my phone. I just laid there. I listened to the birds chirp, and I listened to the cars pass by, and I just got this feeling to get up, on top of Phoebe meowing in my face because she wanted to go sit on the balcony. So I got up, I made me some tea, I grabbed me a book, and I went and sat on the balcony for a while. I probably sat out there for a good 45 minutes, and I read and I reflected, and I just made sure that I was present. I was present, and I was like, it's time to record. It's time. It's time to record. So I'm sitting at my island or my peninsula, and I got everything set up. And this time I actually decided to put it on film as well. So I have video and audio now, and hopefully I'll progress and things will get better. But I also noticed that, when I would post on social media, whether that's Facebook or Instagram, people really like to see me. And so I thought that I would merge the two so that I could cater to both audiences. But I'm human. Phoebe's a mammal. She's a cat, but she has personality just like I do. And she's running around. She's just now gotten used to the space. At first she was all jittery and didn't really know how to take this new environment, but she's even calmed down a bit. I don't know if you heard her kind of run by and attack one of her toys, but one thing I wanted to mention to everyone who is like in this buffer period in their lives or their life, and it's been revealed to you what you're supposed to be doing, let's do it. And I really want people to engage with me on this. So anywhere where you can leave a comment, because you can find me on iTunes and Spotify and Anchor and other platforms that you listen to podcasts on. Some of them have feeds where you can leave a comment. But more specifically on social media, I want to talk, about this in my comments. Those times where you know what you're supposed to be doing, but you find everything else to do, but to do what it is that you're supposed to be doing, right? And so, for example, me with podcasting, it's something that I already like to do. I am a conversationalist at heart. I love to talk. I love to listen to other people's, perspectives, and I like to dig deeper. And so this gives me the opportunity to express my part, put it out there, and have people engage with me on it to see where everyone else is, so I could add to my repertoire, so I can add to my tool belt and become better, so I can evolve and I can grow, and then people can impact my lives and I could do the same for them. And so if that is something that I'm naturally good at, I'm naturally good at that for a reason. And so if I have an inkling, or if I'm being told by the universe, or I'm given signs time and time again, then I need to take heed, right? And so this is awesome. You all get a chance to experience this part of my journey with me, because you see that it's not all peaches and cream with me. I don't have it all figured out. And a lot of times I can regress. But the good thing about the journey that I'm on and how far I am on my journey is that I can sense my regression, right? I can sense it and I can pull myself back. So go push forward, like push. Me and Austin watched, August Alsina's little docu-series on YouTube, which was really good, by the way. If you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend it. I mean, it's like 5 episodes, I think, because I did fall asleep. So I don't know. Well, I didn't fall asleep on it because it was boring. I fell asleep on it because I was tired. I had to work yesterday. But it was so good. But he said something. He was like, and of course we've heard this before, but in that moment it hit different. He was like, life is too short to not be who you really are. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you know what he's saying? Life is too short to not express who you are. Leave your mark on this world. Me having this audio or this video, after I'm gone, this is what I'll have. Of course, with my family, but this is something that is me. Of course, when I'm seen with whenever I have children, when I'm seen with my children or with my husband, you would see me, or me with my family members. You'd see me as a sister, as a daughter, as a niece, as a granddaughter, as a wife, as a mother. But this is Ebony. This is Ebony. And this is my way of impacting whomever. This is me being authentic, me being raw, me being who I am. There's a lot of times where I say certain things that other people are thinking, other people want to say, or things that are unpopular, right? And I normally get condemned because of it, right? I get condemned because of it, but it's my truth. It's how I feel. And so I feel like what I have to say is pretty valid. And I feel that what I have to share is pretty valid. It doesn't care what you think. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter what you think. The difference is that I actually had enough courage to use a platform to just express myself. Think about how many videos, or how much audio you come across, or anything that's put out there, any type of media that's put out there that is BS. That is BS. And it's out there. Somebody created it and they put it out there. Maybe they cared about what their audience thought. Maybe they didn't care. The bottom line is that they did it. And that's the only difference between them and you, is that they're doing it. And as I'm saying you, I'm pointing at myself because I'm looking at myself through this camera. Like, that's the only difference. You'll sit and criticize their poor content or their lack of authenticity, but you are afraid to put out raw, authentic content. And that's something that you gravitate towards. So if you gravitate towards raw and authentic content and you are actually a creator of raw and authentic content, then why don't you put that content out and connect with your tribe? Because believe it or not, y'all, there are a lot of people that are waiting for you to express your truth. Because your truth, that's something that you have experienced. You've gotten to a point where you realize you've gained that wisdom, right? I'm not gonna make this really complicated. Wisdom comes from experience, right? So when you share your wisdom with someone, with the world, whomever, that can lead them to accomplishing their goal or tackling something in their life. So do it, share it. And that doesn't mean that it has to be on film or it has to be, on audio. I'm just talking about in general. Just in general. Be you. Let the world know who you are. I'm Ebony. That's me. But I go by, when I'm writing my signature, it's just Ebony B. Hollins. But that's me. That's who I am. I'm outspoken, I'm witty, I'm deep, I'm compassionate. I try to be as honest as possible, but I'm human. I have feelings. I'm sensitive, not overly sensitive though. So I encourage all of you to go after what it is that you truly are passionate about. Whatever it is, you're truly passionate about it. It's something that it comes easy to you and you feel that could impact someone else's life. I challenge you. I encourage you to go after it, to put your energy there. If you've been away for a while, grab a book, watch a YouTube video about it, do something, put that energy there, because the universe doesn't understand just the word. The universe doesn't understand the words that come out of our mouth. Just follow me. The universe understands the energy, right? So if you are saying, or if I am saying, I really want to do this podcasting. I really enjoy podcasting. I really enjoy everything that podcasting allows me to do, from the recording with audio, video, the editing, all of that, right? I can't just keep saying that and think something that is fulfilling to me is gonna come out of that. I actually have to sit down, set everything up, record, edit, and continue to do that. And from there, that is where the growth from this setting is gonna come from, right? That's where that growth comes from. And so I feel like that is the important part that a lot of people miss, is that it's not the words. It's the action. It's the energy. And the energy that you put in is in alignment with source. And from there, that is where the blessings come. That is where the revelation comes. And you're able to grow, and you're able to impact more lives, and you're able to be used as the vessel that you were supposed to be used as when you came here in the first place. I'm gonna leave this with y'all. You know, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave this thought with you. And I had this revelation about 2020, about 3 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago, right? When I look around, I don't just see people. I don't just see humans that are going through struggles or having successes. And I mean, of course we see that. That's just like somebody say, I don't see color. You see color. Okay, you see that. Don't act like that. But the point that I'm trying to make is every living thing that you see, but I'm going to keep it real specific. Every person that you see, right, made it. We're here. That means we have a purpose to serve. Let me go a little deeper. If you know how aggressive the process of conception is, like, because some people think, well, I was the sperm, I was the egg, whatever. Thousands, millions, I believe, hundreds of thousands of sperm are going and can only fertilize one egg out of all of those eggs, out of all of them, out of all of them. And you were the egg, or you were the sperm that fertilized the egg, whichever side you want to be on. But you made it. And not only is the process of conception aggressive, but the process of actually being born. Like, there are women that have trouble bearing the seed. And through it all, you made it. You made it. Why? You didn't just make it here to live and die, live a subpar life. You were here to fulfill a duty, a purpose. That is why you are here. That is why you have certain gifts. That is why you touch certain people, because you have a job that you need to fulfill. Go after it. Go after it. Do it. I'm supporting you. Because I got people that support me and know what I am capable of, and they breathe life into me every chance they get. They may not even know. They may not even know how much life they breathe into me and how much they encourage me to continue to be who I am, to live in my truth, to put myself first so that I can help others, because that's the only way that it can get done. It's the 5th of July, Sunday, July 5th, 2020. I challenge you. I challenge you to do something different. I challenge you to push yourself to new lengths. I challenge you to explore down those rabbit holes. My friend Donnell told me that. We were talking, and this is back when I was just going through a lot, and there are some people that can smoke, okay? That can smoke marijuana and not be paranoid. At one point, I wasn't one of those people, right? And I would go down these rabbit holes, and they would freak me out. They wouldn't be anything like demonic or anything like that, but it would just be things that I have to deal with that I've just kind of compartmentalized, put away, and I would just be paranoid. So I'd be like, I'm not smoking. I'm not doing that because I don't want to face it. But Donnell told me something, and Donnell, I'm sorry if I'm putting you on Front Street. I love you, but it's the intention, okay? It's the intention. He was like, why don't you want to go down those rabbit holes? And I said, because I don't want to deal with that. He was like, oh, I'm going. Don't you want to figure out what's on the other side? And when he said that, he made me realize that I was so focused on having to deal with whatever the rabbit hole had to present me in that moment, that whatever beautiful was on the other side, I wasn't even going to be rewarded because I was afraid to go down that rabbit hole. I was afraid to face my fears, face what it is that is holding me back, and I can't even enjoy the fruits because I won't even get started. That still sticks with me till today. Not just about that, but anything that I am fearful of. It's like, but you don't even know. You don't even know. You don't know what's going to come out of the other end. Get started. I'm here, you know. I want y'all to engage with me on this. I really do. I want to see you down in the comments. I want you sharing this video. I want to know what other people think. I want to know what other people are going through right now, what they are battling with, what they're afraid to embark on, so we can encourage each other. This isn't just about me and you supporting me. This is about us supporting each other. This is about community. Because I know that I am not the only one that is going through this. I know that I'm not. And we need to stop being afraid of expressing it, because I'm expressing myself. Someone else may come along and be able to give me a few pointers, you know, and from there, I'm able to carry on in my journey. It's a trade-off. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being so patient with me. Thank you for being so supportive. Follow me on my Instagram at Imagine That Podcast. You can listen to me wherever podcasts can be found. You can follow me on Facebook if you like. It's Ebony B. Hollins. And you could even follow my personal Instagram, which is also Ebony B. Hollins. So until next time, y'all take care.